Oh, well, can you believe it? There's 4 weeks left now, and week 14 was crazy, though. I have to talk about, I'll get to that very soon, but we have to talk about that Chiefs game. So, um, yeah, first off, I had never seen Mahomes just blow up like that. I mean, it's crazy. He's an even keeled quarterback, so to see him just explode the way he did was just shocking. And even worse, he exploded something he shouldn't have been exploding at. But but yeah, and because that offside call was right. Now there's a lot of craziness surrounding it. Of course, the story was Kadarius Toney, who was lined up offsides, said usually he gets warned about it, but he wasn't warned that time. Of course, the call negated what was a hell of a play. Mahomes tossed it to Kelsey, who lateraled the ball to Tony for what was going to be a go-ahead, possibly game-winning touchdown, but it was negated by the offside call, and he couldn't believe it. And Mahomes couldn't believe it. And Tony, like I said, Tony said he usually gets warned about that, but it's just a mess. Of course, a lot of talking heads say that does get called and has been called a lot more often on offensive players when they line up offsides. And the replay showed he was pretty much in that neutral zone. Now, Mahomes didn't stop there. He blew up on the sidelines, and then on his post game presser, he basically said the officials took the game from him, which was not true. Now he's being labeled a sore loser and a crybaby. Here's the thing, like I said, this is the first time he's really blown up like this. It takes more than one occurrence. It takes more than one occurrence to say he's a crybaby, which leads me to number two. Yes, like I said, yes, he exploded the way he did, but yes, he exploded the way he did. But one time makes him a crybaby. What about all the temper tantrums we've seen in the past from Tom Brady over the years? He blows up at refs a lot. Now, granted, he doesn't do it. He never does it at the level of Draymond Green for the Golden State Warriors. The NBA does, but I've seen him blow up at the refs and throw all sorts of temper tantrums pretty much a lot during the season. But when he does it, that's part of the game. It's just sad. You just can't be a black player in the NFL. It really is sad. You just can't be a black player and so passionate. Because when players who look like me show any semblance of passion, we're a distraction, we're arrogant, we're crybabies. Now, granted, Mahomes should have kept his mouth shut, but one occurrence doesn't automatically mean he's a petulant whiner. Okay, you never called Tom Brady a petulant whiner. The many times he bitched at ringside, and the many times he bitched on the sidelines. You never called Tom Brady that. So why is Patrick Mahomes getting that label? That's all I'm saying. You could be right about the fact that Mahomes should have kept his mouth shut. You can, but you can't go to extremes like that over an isolated occurrence. You just can't, especially since you never went to extremes when somebody else did it many times. That's all I have to say. But anyway, now I have to talk about the Packers. Okay, so that loss hurt. Well, it hurt our pride, but ironically, it didn't hurt us in the standings. That's how fucked up the NFC is. We should have won that game. We Jordan Love did everything right to win, but the plays were just, especially on defense. I mean, the defense. Well, it's not the defense per se. It's Joe Barry. He's an idiot. But yeah, we should have won that game. But the crazy thing is, even with that loss, we're still above ground. Like I said, that's how screwed up the NFC is. We're still in a playoff position because the Rams lost and the Seahawks lost. So it's a 6 and 7 log jam that we're on top of. My goodness. Oh man, speaking of craziness, how about them Cowboys? But yeah, the Cowboys, oh boy, took care of the Eagles. Eagles are in trouble. Yes, it's only back-to-back losses, but they're in trouble. This loss knocked them down a few pegs. They went down from number 1 to number 5 in the conference. Now here's the thing: number 5 basically means they'll play whoever wins that god awful NFC South, which has Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Atlanta in a three-way tie at 6-7. Um, but So that's a prime spot for them, but they want to be on top of the heap. But right now they are slipping. They are slipping. They're back down to the wild card position while uh, Dallas with that big win took the lead. They're tied. They have the same record, but division record puts Dallas ahead of Philly. However, they're not. They don't have the number 1 spot. That belongs to San Francisco, and because we came up short, along with San Francisco's win, 49ers have become the first team to clinch a spot in the 2023 NFL playoffs. And you know they're looking to make up for those back-to-back NFC Championship losses. They are. So the 49ers are playoff ground. Bound. Sorry. Or playoff bound. Congratulations to them. The AFC is getting pretty interesting because Miami lost at home for the first time this year. My goodness. Amazing. The Tennessee Titans are the only AFC South team who won because Houston lost, Indy lost, and Jacksonville lost. Week, if you're the Steelers and Steelers fans, you have to be a side week because all this insanity that happened in Week 14 has made football fans forget that the Steelers started off the week losing at home to New England. Seriously, how do you lose back-to-back games to two of the worst teams in the league? They lost to Arizona and then to New England, who got eliminated officially on Sunday. Speaking of New England, the news didn't break. Belichick, after this year, he's done as head coach. Hell of a career, though. A lot of us may not like him, but you can't deny it. Great coach. Of course, people would say, well, Brady carried him. No. Brady didn't carry him. Belichick didn't carry Brady. They complemented each other. Okay? Don't make Belichick out to be like Mike McCarthy, who was single-handedly carried by Aaron Rodgers. We all know this. Belichick's a great coach in his own right. Like I said, he and Brady, they complemented each other. One was just as good as the other. But yeah. And Pittsburgh found themselves back at the playoff line because of everything else that happened in the NFC and the AFC. I mean, I've been stumbling a bit, but anyway. But yeah, it was a crazy week, and I can't wait to talk more about it in the next video, which will be about the playoff picture heading into Week 15. Speaking of Week 15, what's in store for us? Well, it'll start with the Chargers and the Raiders playing each other. The same Raiders who couldn't outscore a field goal. Oh, God. Seriously. Like I said before. I said this before on social media. Becky Hammond and the Golden Knights need to throw the Raiders out of Vegas. That was embarrassing. So it's Raiders and the Chargers, and that game's important because whoever loses that could face elimination week later. The Packers' next game is at home against the Buccaneers. Look to get back on track, get back to 500, and stay above ground. The Steelers are in Indy to face the Colts. That's one of the 3 Saturday games. We get Saturday football. That's the middle game. Before that, it's Vikings-Bengals, and after that, it's Broncos and Lions. Lions just coming off a loss to the Bears, who are in Cleveland on Sunday. Dolphins host the Jets next. The Giants, coming off that win, face the Saints. Niners are in Arizona. Sunday night game is Ravens-Jaguars. Monday night game is Eagles-Seahawks. Wow. So that's my recap of Week 14. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button. My story will be featured, so check it out. And I'll be back tomorrow to give you an update on the playoff picture. It's going to be interesting, especially with what can happen in Week 15. So stay tuned.